to today's ASMR video, where we are going to be celebrating Revenge of the 5th, as we missed May the 4th. Revenge of the 5th is always a little bit better, but we're going to have a time of Fred just being a complete nerd, and this is something which I love so much. When it comes to sort of ASMR videos, I love seeing people who are like passionate about something, and that could be like within shoemaking or haircuts or something like that, or collections or whatever they're talking about. I love it, and I always look for the ASMR-ness in those particular videos, because someone who's really enthusiastic about something, to me that's always like a bonus, more powerful ASMR trigger tingle, and I love watching to see people enjoy themselves as well, so there's a little bit of bonus there too. So with that in mind, today's ASMR video is going to be me going through something which I love to celebrate the day of which is sacred, and go through my entire collection of Star Wars figures. Now this may surprise you, that my Star Wars figure collection has kind of recently kicked off. I've had a few figures for a little while, and I really sort of opened it up one time and I was like, I love this so much. And I think the last couple of years then I've really sort of got into collecting them, and I just love them so much. I'm probably going to be one of those people who, once I've got a nice cabinet, each single one's going to be on display or something. That's me when I build my Star Wars room, and that's going to be one of the things on there. When I was younger, I had a lot of Star Wars minifigures, but not the 6-inch, the smaller ones, and I've still got them all, but they're not part of this collection stage. Today is the slightly larger ones, and mostly Black Series, of which I think the figures are so awesome. So we can get some out of the box, and some will stay in the box as well. But I don't know, I think we should pop on the white gloves, because we want to look after every single little aspect of these figures, should we choose to get them out. Now, Obi-Wan is a figure which stays in the box, and I don't really want to ruin any of the packaging, because I think this is probably one of my top collections that I have right here, and that's Obi-Wan Kenobi, Attack of the Clones. So one of the things with the Obi-Wan Kenobi Attack of the Clones is that I am trying to cosplay this. And for, I think it's been 4 years in the making. I'm making this Obi-Wan Kenobi video, and I've been doing it for such a long time, over 3 years, trying to accumulate the costume. Everything has gone wrong with all of the costume, but it's happening. I'm going to do it during the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. You know it's going to happen. You know I'm going to do it, and it's like I've been waiting all my life to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi roleplay. So I've been saving it, and so many have asked, like, Fred, Obi-Wan Kenobi, is that happening? And yes, it is happening, but it's taken a long time to do. But this particular figure, at least a toy, to me they're not toys, they're figures, and they look awesome. The detail on the Obi-Wan Kenobi captures so perfectly his face, like with the smaller figures. Like, I remember they were just sort of a bit vague, but you know when you remember something from when you was a kid and you sort of update it and upgrade it, like when you play an old game and in your head it's 4K, but when you actually play it, it's not 4K. It's abysmal quality. Well, those were like the old figures, I assume. But these newer versions are so cool and so real to likeness. And if you ever do a costume anything like that, these figures are always a good place to start and examine and just get the overall basic look of the minifigure, because they're so close and they're so spot on to what they're meant to look like. So that's my Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is going to stay in the box for this particular one. Obi-Wan, you could stay there. Promise me you will train the boy. He is the chosen one. Next time. Now, to me, this Star Wars figure of our Master Qui-Gon Jinn is literally like the Charizard of Pokemon cards for me. I love for the anniversary they did this sort of shiny Phantom Menace packaging, which is just so spot on to how the packaging used to be to the toys when I was a kid, and they replicated that again for this Qui-Gon Jinn, which I loved so much. Now the only problem with this Qui-Gon Jinn is that I'm unable to take it out the packaging unless I got a duplicate. Then I can get it out. I think if I got 2 Obi-Wan Kenobis, Phantom Menace, then I could take one out and keep one on display. But it's because of this packaging. Like, the only way to do it is lift up the bottom or cut underneath here, and then once you do that you could sort of slide it out, which I'll show you in some of the others later. But that's the only problem. You have the advantage with this one, whereas this one you don't really. But if we look at the model, Qui-Gon's face is tunic, everything is, it's spot on Qui-Gon Jinn, and I love it so much. Now Qui-Gon has his lightsaber, but something you can do is get custom made robes for each of the Jedi Knights, and you can buy them online so easily, like on eBay or something. But it does make the Jedi look, I don't know why I sound so much like Palpatine's name, but it does make the Jedi look really good. And if you like taking pictures of them, which, you know, sometimes I do, like on my recent Instagram story, you can't help yourself, yeah, then it'll be awesome to have like the flowing cloth. Some of the figures have that, which we have, but some don't. But to replicate the Jewel of the Fates, this is the one that you want. I just love it so much. This is literally my favourite Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn packaging. It's so nostalgic for me, and sort of something which is added to my treasures. Now you've put Qui-Gon next to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I suppose this is probably what they look like if Qui-Gon survived and they would be together, but they look so cool and awesome, and I think they've got like all the heights perfectly in sync as well, which is really cool. But yeah, I don't think Qui-Gon is going to stand out there. He might do. Yeah, we'll just pop Qui-Gon about there and see how we get on. But yeah, those 2 Jedi are my absolute favourite for Star Wars figures, and well, you'll see in a minute. Let's get another. I'm just going to pick at random. Now I've got all these stored in a Tupperware box to obviously look after them until they go on display, and we have Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker. Now, I came a little bit late to the collecting figure game, and there's quite a lot which aren't for sale anymore, which Black Series did. Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi, in his tunic at the end with his jaw with Darth Vader, is something which I would love to replicate. But you can, with this, take off Luke Skywalker's tunic, which he has around the forest moon of Endor, and his camouflage poncho. But yeah, and his helmet, of course, as well, which is a nice feature. So you still get that Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi look, which I love so much. This figure is something which goes perfectly with my Jedi collection, and Luke Skywalker is going to pose so perfectly with Darth Vader, and they're going to look awesome together. Now, I am actually a little bit interested in photography with the minifigures, and putting some smoke on there and doing some lightsabers on there that would be really good as well. But yeah, this is all really nice and pristine looking. I think this was a second hand purchase as well, because I couldn't get it brand new. But well, it'll probably come out at some point with my Darth Vader. But he looks so good. It looks just like Return of the Jedi Luke. I'm really impressed with the figures and the likenesses on there, and all the like, with, you see what I mean, with the robes and this camouflage, his poncho. It makes it look really realistic, and it makes all the difference. Literally, just have that poncho bit on there. Just the flowing robes works really well with the figures. I feel like we're going to run out of space now. Okay, I think we shall go for one which Fred has opened already. So my original idea was to have a big old shelf, and I was going to make a Death Star background for in-skeleton minifigures on the back, slightly light behind, and have all the panels lit behind, and then I was going to buy so many Stormtroopers and have Darth Vader like in the middle, and then all Stormtroopers sort of lined up next to him, or maybe have a scene, like a made up scene, you know. That's all what I used to do when I was a kid, just have battles with Star Wars figures. So it's kind of in homage to that, and of course my nerd section of my brain. But yeah, this is the Empire Strikes Back Snowtrooper, Hoth Trooper to be precise, and this has been, of course, open so we can get this one out. So to preserve the packaging as much as possible, the cut is at the bottom, and then you just sort of slide it out, and that kind of works. But the Snowtrooper, it has opposable everything, so you can literally move it in whatever position, and I find it strange how they're actually able to stand there. That's really cool. But this, because they've got a mask and a helmet, then I think it just looks like it's come straight out the movie to me, and you get them in certain angles or standing next to Darth Vader, then it looks pretty intimidating. So depending on what scene that you was going to do, if you like how you're going to display it, yeah, Snowtrooper is an absolute must addition to an Empire collection or scene or whatever you're doing. So I like all the Empire Strikes Back things purely because it's the most sort of intimidating Empire-esque time period in my mind, and all of the troopers look just ruthless, and the Hoth Trooper always looks like that. So I wasn't sure if I wanted Snowtroopers or normal Stormtroopers, so I ended up just getting both. And when I put them all together with Darth Vader, I thought, well, I want to know what sort of display, if I want to go winter or just not winter, not Darth. But they look so good together, I ended up just getting double of both as well. But with this, it doesn't have the cloth for the back of the tunic. However, it does does come with 2 blasters, which is freaking awesome. So you can have variations in the troopers, which I really like there as well. I don't know if you remember when you was a kid, if you even collected them, but Star Wars had micro machines, and I had so many of those figures, which I loved, and I had tons of rebels, tons of stormtroopers, and I used to just battle them all the time. It was so much fun. This is basically when you get older, it gets bigger. Steady. Right. As we show our Stormtrooper, Imperial Stormtrooper. Now, like I said, when any Star Wars character with a mask or armor and thing like that looks like they've just come out of the film, this trooper looks amazing. And what I love is that I'm just realizing perhaps I did get Luke Skywalker brand new, because the tape on here is exactly the same as the tape on here. And I've opened this one, but this one's not open. So even better. Luke, you're staying in there. Sorry, you was going to get your duel with Darth Vader. But yeah, these are the best, because you just literally get a sharp knife and you can just take out the trooper so easily. And it's kind of cool for collectors who want to sell on and exchange and things. So everything still looks perfect, because, you know, collectors, we like boxes. They're just as good as what's inside. But yeah, this Stormtrooper, I don't think it had a, yeah, it's only the E11 blaster. I think that's it, could be wrong. I should know that really. But yeah, the Stormtrooper is perfect as well, just like the Snowtrooper. They go in all sorts of amazing positions, and I've had them when next to Darth Vader when they're running together or guarding Darth Vader or behind, and also got 2 of these as well, because I wanted Boba Fett to stand there like when they come out on Empire Strikes Back, and then Boba Fett's there, Darth Vader's there, and then all the Stormtroopers come around behind. I think they look so awesome and sort of intimidating, but it's kind of trying to work out which one do I want to have. Do I want to have loads of Snowtroopers or loads of Stormtroopers? Because you can't really mix them, you just can't. So yeah, just continue the collection of Stormtroopers here. I'm asking for trouble, we're just pop you there for the time being. And our other Snowtrooper as well. So obviously these boxes I'm not too bothered about them getting that messy. It's only if I have them on display, then gloves on, don't touch. Okay, I was going to save it to the end, but we might as well do it now. So one of the things you've got to research with Darth Vader, because there are variations, like the figurines one as well, and the earliest series for Black Series Darth Vader, there are slight tiny variations, and you want to get the best looking Darth Vader one that's proportioned perfectly and has flowing robes and capes and everything. And this is what I mean about the Jedi robes, and you want it looking as realistic as possible. So obviously Darth Vader came out, he was probably I think the first in the recent collecting what I got. So Darth Vader, who looks so cool, but the thing I love is his just massive Darth Vader cape here, and it's not only that, they've gone through the trouble and put his inner tunic on there as well, which just looks so freaking awesome. I love it so much. So Darth Vader is taller than the Stormtroopers. I think probably not spot on in a high difference, but he is taller, so you do get that sort of intimidating Darth Vader look if you're looking for that size difference. But when you put the lightsaber together, it just, Darth Vader became Darth Vader. Like, he has that powerful sort of foreboding presence. And that's what I love about this figure. It looks like it's going to start moving or something like that. And attention to detail for all the Darth Vader bits on there as well, like his chest plate, his armor up the top there as well, all around his arms and all his legs and armor there. It just all looks so perfect. If it's going to focus, there we go. But with this lightsaber, it'd be really cool. I don't know if they'll be able to do it. We should be able to do it actually, if they were actually able to do a version. But the lightsaber, you just turn on and then it's just permanently lit. That would be awesome. But I think that's probably wishing a little bit too much. People have probably done that and converted them somehow. But that was something which I haven't found before. But I'd love to do something like that. But Darth Vader, he literally moves everywhere. You can stand him whichever way you want. For me, he has the double handed lightsaber there, because it replicates a powerful Darth Vader swing. He looks so great. But yeah, him with all of the Stormtroopers, just let me know. If you see my vision of what I'm trying to do, I could do like a, on the shelf, like Darth Vader and troopers on one side and then rebels on another side or something like that. Or we could just go prequel era, because I've yet to get battle droids, which I want so much. But yeah, with him dueling or going after the rebels and Luke Skywalker fending them off, and we'll go for the Stormtroopers or the Snowtroopers. I don't know. I think the Stormtroopers give that Empire Strikes Back vibe, but the Snowtroopers, I don't know, it gives more of a wintry, atmospheric feel to it. So that means they wouldn't fit on the Death Star. But yeah, I'll probably do this on my computer in the studio, but in my Star Wars room, I'm putting them on display, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, to have the proper lighting sort of backlit and sort of all shining up would be really cool, and make all of these stand out really nicely. But the packaging is nice and it's sleek and fits in all the other size boxes, which is really cool. And I'm going to be getting some sleeves when they come out of the box there as well. And there he is, looking completely awesome. Thank you, Darth. Yeah, so his box, pretty awesome looking, looks great. And it's another fine addition to the collection. But it doesn't stop there. As previously mentioned, that Boba Fett was an essential part to play in the minifigure collection. So Boba Fett, I think, looks freaking amazing in minifigure form. He looks, this Black Series version, especially with all of the extras you get on there, it's perfect. If you collect minifigures, if you haven't got Boba Fett, or if you want to get started on one, Boba Fett is the way to go. Like, you don't just get a very realistic Boba Fett with all of his armor and everything, and it just looks so amazing, but you also get his jetpack on there, which is so cool. You get a choice of 2 Boba Fett guns with a spare one there as well, which is really good. And then there's flamethrower that comes out of his hand, which I love, and his sort of harpoon cable as well, like what he gets Luke Skywalker with, which I love those details. So there's options, like there's so many things in there, and that's probably why the case is considerably larger than the other ones. So the fact that they've got all the gizmos on there just makes this figure so cool and amazing. And when you stand Boba Fett next to Darth Vader, he looks so, like, just behind him, he looks so intimidating, and how I perceive Boba Fett to be, like, it's sort of the second hand of Darth Vader, the special relationship, you know, where he's working for the Empire, the no-nonsense bounty hunter who gets the job done. And that's exactly what it looks like in there. his rocket could be fired or anything from his jetpack. So an amazing, amazing figure, and I love the Boba Fett one so much. I'll definitely start with Boba Fett if you're going for anything Empire. The packaging's really great as well, and it holds everything and presents it nicely, like literally all of them do. I've got my eye on you there, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're looking pretty great. Okay. Right, so we move into the smaller figure category for now. So these are the Black Series ones and the 6-inch figures, which look pretty awesome if you ask me. There's pop Darth Vader in the middle. See how easily he stands out. He's so good. So for the larger ones from the collection, it doesn't actually seem that much at all really. But yeah, this will be continuously expanding because I feel like I need to get loads. And where I thought about doing a Lego army, I kind of like the idea of a figure army of like Stormtroopers and Boba Fett and Darth Vader, but then another one of like Count Dooku and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker and droids, and then have a Darth Maul one with Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Phantom Menace, and have just like different scenes everywhere on every level of the cabinet. So I don't know if you're interested in that, then I'll probably show you my Star Wars room when it's up and running. I think that'd be pretty cool. Then I could build my Lego Millennium Falcon and have everything just how I wanted. And finally have a place to put all my Star Wars things. That'd be pretty great. Okay, let's move these over just a little bit. Okay, don't stop. Why not just stand there? So easily stands there. So the smaller figures. Now, I don't know if you remember with the old school, I think they still sell them actually, but you have that, I can't remember what they were called, but it was the Jedi speaker that Qui-Gon uses. It was a big version of that, and then you place whatever thing that was chip on the speaker, and it plays a line from the movie or whatever character that was. I had tons of them, and I've still got them somewhere boxed away, and I had a lot of Phantom Menace ones, but I think a lot of them were in Spanish as well. So they were, I just remember for the droid cast, I think it was Maestro Dito Troyes, and that's sort of embedded in my brain. But yeah, this is Moff Gideon, who I absolutely loved in The Mandalorian. I thought he was a great manipulative, imposing character, played perfectly, Imperial protagonist, and he is a great collection piece figure to have. So thanks Moff, you're looking great. So next up in the smaller version, that was it. That's what I'm talking about. The Comlink. And then you have the CommTech chip. These are the original ones, unopened from 1999 or 98, 99. And this is Padme Amidala, who shall remain perfectly preserved in a box. And you put that under the comlink, and then you'd hear her lines, and she stands on top of the comlink there as well. So she has accessories, she looks pretty awesome. And this is like nostalgia galore for me. And then we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, Phantom Menace. Here's what I want in the Black Series, 6-inch size. I think it would look awesome, and if I can get him with the Qui-Gon Jinn packaging, that would be so good. And to dual Darth Maul would be really awesome. But he is what I know I have. When I was a kid, I definitely had Obi-Wan Kenobi because he was in Spanish as well. But it just looks so amazing, and this is pristine. The box on there as well, it's so perfect, it looks so good. And considering this came out recently, they've made it identical to the Qui-Gon Jinn Black Series recent one for the 50 years of Lucasfilm anniversary. So they've got, literally, they've made it spot on. And even on the back there as well, with the Phantom Menace logo on there, those are the tiny details, which I love. So yeah, these are the ultimate collector items for me, which what I love so much. But Obi-Wan looks completely amazing. Then we have Newt Gunnery, who is one of my favourite characters as well. I loved him, and I remember when I was at the cinema, I saw him for the first time. It was my first time at the cinema, and I was always kind of nervous if I was going to be too scared or not. And I remember seeing the Alien, I was like, I've never seen anything like it before. I never really watched stuff when I was a kid. It's just play most things, and I remember, did I like Newt or not? And then it's kind of, I loved him so much. He was awesome. Newt and Rune Gunnery, pretty awesome. But he is quite a detailed figure. I mean, comparing to the Black Series of what you see now, like his face is more painted on than detailed, but he looks so cool. And with the droids as well, he's a great figure to have to the collection. So he looks really awesome, all with the comlinks and things. Now, you probably think that this is a little bit random, but it was a Tatooine accessories pack, so he popped these on. I think that's Qui-Gon Jinn's poncho there, and then for the aliens or something, I don't know, that was more for a Stormtrooper there, so I don't know who they go for, but it was Qui-Gon Jinn's poncho, which I think is the awesome thing in there. But at the back we have the collection of all of the amazing figures that you can get. Ages 4 years and up, of course, way up for me. But yeah, it looks so cool. And then we have a dueling version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he is in pristine condition. It's kind of crazy to think, for me anyway, that these figures have been sitting here sort of just waiting, and they've been there since 1999 and kept in this sort of new condition as well, which I've made sure I've looked after them to the very best of my abilities, apart from them all just being stacked together. But that Obi-Wan looks amazing. And then we have young Anakin Skywalker, lucky boy. Yeah, it's so like classic Phantom Menace packaging. I just loved the Phantom Menace toys so much. They were just the best. So Adi was kind of spot on age to what I was. Pretty sure I had similar haircut when I was his age as well, of 8 and 9 years old. So he is a great addition to the collection, and I think it looks pretty spot on, to be honest, considering the size. I think it's a really good figure. It's just too bad you can't get a pod racer in like a semi-realistic scale, because that would be so awesome. If they did the pod racers, I would have every single one. And then what you might remember from one of the games later on by Adi Gallia, who I think was an awesome Jedi, but sort of not something I never understood in the game. She always had in the Jedi Power Battles game, she had like an almost red lightsaber, and they've sort of stuck with that here as well. So whatever went down, and whoever said whatever a lightsaber colour should be, always wondered why she got a red lightsaber. Maybe it's pink, I don't know. But yeah, I like that they kept that, and it's in correlation with the Star Wars Jedi Power Battles game, because someone made that decision, and it clearly moved from there, from LucasArts to toys as well, so to the Hasbro department. So that is really cool, and I think that's a pretty unique feature and a great character to have in the collection. She looks pretty cool as well. It's kind of like the Mace Windu thing in the Phantom Menace. He obviously had a blue lightsaber. Jedi Power Battles had a blue lightsaber. He had a different lightsaber. It's a silver one, but then he had this really unique, interesting lightsaber with the purple blade, because obviously that's what Samuel Jackson asked George Lucas for. So I completely forgot, but this is the comlink, the one that Qui-Gon Jinn was using. So you have all the buttons and you upload the comlinks to the CommTalk, and then it stores them, and then you make lightsaber sounds. And this was like cutting edge technology for toys back then, which is what I love so much. So I have an open version of this, which I can't believe that when you're a kid you just chuck away the packaging and think nothing of it, but now this is like a sacred thing, something which I do not want to unbox or open or anything like that. It's just perfect. This is knowing that I had one of these, and I've still got this, but just not the packaging, and it was all those years ago, and here's a brand new version. That's what like interests me in collecting. It's probably like the nerdiest thing, but it's so cool and I love it so much. So yeah, I even remember the chain on the CommTalk chip, which just had these small tiny balls. How do I remember things like that? I don't know. But yeah, that's what activates all of these Phantom Menace characters. I don't even know if they went beyond Phantom Menace, but I know that I've got a lot of opened ones stored away somewhere. And the droid to get dick ass. Where is that? A recent video that I did, which I was sent this, but I love the fact that I was sent this, and this was Padme Amidala figure. Here's what, is that even Black Series? No. I know it's not, because it's the same size as these ones. Yeah, so she looks pretty basic, but she's pregnant Padme. But there's some awesome variations on what other characters you can collect. So the packaging is cool, but I prefer the Phantom Menace versions. I think they're the best and can't be beaten. So Padme looks pretty awesome, and that was the costume that I was going to get my wife when she was pregnant, and if there was a Comic-Con or something, we was going to go to it. Until I've got my costumes, then I can go and enjoy all these Comic-Cons, because I'm going to take Leia as well, and my wife, and we will just all dress up as Obi-Wan Kenobi, Padme, and Leia, of course. Yeah, and go and enjoy some Star Wars stuff. I'm just gutted that I'm not going to Star Wars Celebration this year. I'd love to be there so much. You know, as soon as it's back in London, then I'll be living there for 3 days and doing every single thing. I think it was probably one of the best times ever is when I went to that Star Wars Celebration in London. It was so cool. And then finally, I don't think these count, because I'm the rich. Actually, I bought them for the collection, but he looks so awesome anyway. And that's Anakin Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith. I think the minifigure looks really spot on, and exclusive holograms on the back there, which I thought were cool collectible items. Like, considering the size, they are quite realistic to the actual characters in the film. What I love with this, if you look closely, you'll see Count Dooku's lightsaber there as well. So just in case you want to do that, you know, where he's teetering on the edge of being good and bad, yeah, do it. Yeah, that's a really cool feature there as well. But because I was sent this and Padme there as well, I'm keeping them in the box, because why not? They look awesome and I want to preserve them all. So I think that is my current collection of Star Wars figures, and I think you know my intentions now, what I plan to do with them, and hopefully I'll get a really cool display and can do something really good with it. And when it goes in the Star Wars room, that it's going to be freaking awesome. And this is going to be nostalgia galore with all these things hanging up. Basically, I want it to look like when I used to go in shops when I was a kid, when I was in a toy shop, nothing. I didn't care about anything, because my eyes were looking for the Star Wars section. And when I found that, I was just beyond happy all the time. So I kind of want that feeling again where you walk in the room and it's just Star Wars, literally everywhere. Star Wars Legos, Star Wars toys, original posters, like all pretty much original stuff, pre-Disney era as well is a bonus, because that's like the time for Star Wars for me. So I hope, like I said at the start, when you watch someone who's passionate about something, you get those extra relaxing vibes and tingles and triggers. So hopefully going through these and going through all of the different toys, I'm not saying toys, figures, and it's showing you what I've got, that you've enjoyed it and found it relaxing. And for me, this would be very therapeutic to watch, and probably would be the source of me falling asleep for the next, I don't know, month, if I found something like this, where it's proper ASMR based, and it's not like full on, it's just nice and chill and relaxing, and you get to just hear some different sounds and things. I hope that tingled you, that made you feel good, and you enjoyed the theme for today for Revenge of the Fifth. So yeah, please do recommend to me if you have any figures which you think should be part of this collection. There's so many awesome figures to collect, and I have a long list in my watch list at the moment of the next ones. I've got Count Dooku, who's turning up soon, droid, B1 battle droid, and Jango Fett I'm trying to get hold of as well, because he's one of my main boys as well. And if I was doing a cosplay, I'm trying to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi Attack of the Clones, which, like I said, just been crazy. But I'm doing an Emperor Palpatine as well, which I've kind of got 3/4 of the costume, and a Jango Fett, which would be pretty awesome. And yeah, I think I would keep it at those, and then once I have all the costumes, like for Jango Fett, for example, in the Star Wars room, I'll get a mannequin, put all the costume on there, and it will look awesome. But yeah, that's for the Star Wars room. But yeah, so those are all my plans and things and everything that I get to talk to you about today, because it's a very special Star Wars day. 2 days I have for it. May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th. It tends to be Revenge of the 5th where I really get Star Warsy, because I'm in the mood more. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and going completely full nerd mode, and enjoy going through the figures. Okay, so take care of yourself. Cheerio. Bed.